So President Johnson, welcome to the Zoom call. Welcome to Ohio State. And I'll open up the floor now for some opening comments for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jerry. And thank you everyone for being here today. You know, clearly it's a great day for Buckeye Nation. We are so excited for all Buckeye Nation and enthusiastically support the decision of the Big Ten Conference leadership to proceed with a fall season. This is what we've always wanted, is an opportunity for our student athletes to compete in the sports they love. And I would first like to thank my Big Ten colleagues and Commissioner Warren for their thoughtful deliberations. We studied how to create safe environments for our student athletes through the Return to Competition Task Force, including a medical subcommittee co-chaired by our very own Dr. Jim Borchers. The plan developed by the subcommittee provides for rigorous testing protocols to keep all our student athletes safe when they cannot social distance or wear masks. And this was crucial in reaching the unanimous decision for our football teams to return to competition and to have our athletic directors work with the coaches of all our fall sports to deliver schedules that will return them also to competition. I can't say enough about Dr. Borchers and his great work over the past month, which allowed us to make this data-informed decision. His subcommittee was thorough and always held the guiding principle of what is best for the health, wellness, and safety of our student athletes. I want to thank Athletic Director Gene Smith and Coach Ryan Day and all the coaches and athletes for their patience while a plan was developed to return to competition. It's a good plan. It'll take us forward in continuing to work together. It will take all of us to work together to execute it. And finally, I couldn't be prouder of our young men and women who have followed all the safety protocols, setting an example on our campuses for how we can move through this pandemic while keeping us all safe. The positivity rate of our students over the average over the last 7 days is 2.2%, after spiking to nearly 7% earlier this year. We still need to focus on wearing masks and physically social distancing off campus. Those rates continue to be higher. Just finally, I especially want to thank all our student athletes and their families for being patient. As Jerry said, I'm a former student athlete. I played in the late 70s and 80s, and I know what it's meant to my career 40 years later to sit in the chair because of the discipline and the leadership that these opportunities afforded me. And I want that for all of our students. So thank you. And to our students, faculty, and staff, thanks for all your hard work to stay safe. We got this together as Buckeyes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Johnson. I'm going to turn it over for some opening comments to Director of Athletics, Gene Smith now. Gene?
Well, thank you, Jerry. And let me first and foremost thank President Johnson to think of a president coming into significant responsibility and just leading the Ohio State University in normal times is a significant challenge. But to come in at a time of a pandemic of this nature and the social and injustice issues that's plaguing our society and all the other issues that she inherited, to come in and deal with what we were dealing with in the athletic space is a daunting task, and she's been phenomenal. I can't thank her enough for her tireless work and effort to try and provide our student athletes an opportunity to come back and play the sport they love. And as you all know, as football goes, so do all of our other sports. And when you think about this moment in time, providing our football players the opportunity to return certainly is relief for all of our athletes because they now feel as though they can compete. And so I just want to thank her from the bottom of my heart on behalf of all of our student athletes, our coaches, our support staff, and all of Buckeye Nation for her tireless work in this effort. We're excited to return to play. We just feel fortunate that we were able to have the leadership that we had in Jim Borchers and Sandy Barber, the athletic director at Penn State, who did an unbelievable job in setting up the medical protocols that we will all employ as we move closer to competition. There's a great comfort level with the testing, the data transparency, addressing the contact tracing issues, and of course, the issues that could result after an individual is positive with COVID-19. Obviously, the cardiac issue was the one that was most prevalent, and the protocols in that space are just phenomenal. We're in a better place regardless of how we got here or how painful it was during the time that we waited to get to this moment. That's all behind us. What's beautiful is that we have a process and protocols in place that's based upon science, that's based upon lessons learned since August 11th. As you all know, I think there's somewhere around 12, 13 games that have been postponed as a result of COVID. And so we're hopeful with this path, this runway, and this pause that we've dealt with and what we've learned, that we might be in a position where we can continue to play. The daily testing that Dr. Borchers has talked about, assume you all paid attention to his comments on the Big Ten Network. They're significant, and that science has evolved. And so we're at a point now where we need to move forward and try and ultimately get to those protocols being in place. Our campuses, as we continue our skill instruction and strength and conditioning, we will continue on our campus protocols, which have been excellent for us at The Ohio State University because of our trainers and doctors and strength coaches and Dr. Borchers. We'll continue until we ultimately implement the Big Ten standards that you guys have all read about as those cascade into on our campuses. So tomorrow morning, as athletic directors, we'll begin the process with Barry's leadership and his football scheduling subcommittee to put together a schedule. 8 regular season games is our objective, with a 9th championship week game on the 19th, 18th, 19th of December. We're looking at a new model where one will play one from the East and the West as we have traditionally done. But we also will provide that 9th game opportunity for the other teams, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, and so on and so forth. So we think it'll be unique and provide that 9-game competitive opportunity for our players. So that's what we're working on now, 4 at home, 4 away. We'll hopefully have by the end of the week or early next week at the latest a schedule that we can start to plan with. So just wanted to share those things, and I'll just open it up for questions from there.
I am going to bring in Coach Day to the call. I was a little unsure of his schedule, if we'd be able to have him on, but he's been able to join the call. So at this time, I'm going to ask Coach Day just to open up with just some general statements or comments, and then we'll jump into just a few more questions for both gentlemen. Coach, I'll turn the floor over to you.
Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, just a few things. I just, very, very excited for our players, and we're in such a stronger place today than like Gene said on August 11th. And the 3 things: the data-driven approach, the testing, and then the cardiac protocol is really excellent. And I'm excited for the players because they never lost faith, they never lost trust. Their behavior through this time has been excellent, and they never stopped fighting. And it was during a time that was very, very uncertain. It's not easy for 19, 20, 20-year-olds, young men to go through this, and they did. And the culture was never more evident, and couldn't be prouder of them. And now they get the opportunity that they asked for, which was to safely compete for a championship and get back into the CFP picture, which so many of them, after they left the fields last year against Clemson, really, really wanted. And I'm also happy for Buckeye Nation. Their support during this time has been unbelievable. And so I want to thank them. And then also just a few more thank yous before we move on. First off, throughout the conference, to see the president's work, to see the athletic directors, Commissioner Warren, during this time come through with these protocols and allow us to, the opportunity to play here starting on October 24th has been amazing. And then, locally, Gene Smith and President Johnson, their leadership during this time of uncertainty has been excellent. It's not easy. It's easy to lead when things are going well. It's not as easy when things are going hard and there's uncertainty. And their leadership has been strong and something that I've learned from. And then Dr. Borchers, who's just, had him and his subcommittee did a great job during this time of putting this together and, again, allowing our athletes an opportunity to play safely. So looking forward to get back to work, to do things that we love, coach football, play football. And I know our guys are really, really excited as well.